Hello and welcome to the 151st John Guinn Travel Show. Just like everybody else with the long Christmas break, I got all my numbers confused, and last week was my 150th show, which I thought was going to be this week. But I knew it was last week, but when I did it I thought it was this week. Does that make any sense? All these days off really makes life confusing. But anyway, it's 151 shows now, and I've got loads of travel news to get through. I'm going to make a start now. Las Vegas tourism has continued its growth in 2015 with a record high estimate of more than 42 million travellers during the year. The previous best was 41.1 for 2014. The increase justifies the increased number of direct flights to Las Vegas's McCarran Airport, and there's also been more convention business as well, which has also helped push up numbers, as well as the several music festivals and special events that happened during 2015. Tourism in Nevada, which is where Las Vegas, I always do lost, it's Las Vegas, generates more than $50 billion a year and directly employs about 366,000 local jobs. Through to October last year, the city's hotel occupancy rate grew nearly 1% to 89%, while average room rates were up to $121 a night. Now, you may have seen this in the news, and it's a reminder that you should always keep up to date about the destination entry requirements, even when you've booked your holiday. I've mentioned a few times in the past that I had a South African friend. He chose a particular island to propose to his girlfriend because he knew as a South African passport holder he didn't need a visa. And then a few weeks before he was going to go, they changed the rules and he suddenly needed a visa. So you do need to keep up to date. Don't just book and forget. Keep following the rules. So this is about Sweden, which has introduced border checks for travellers coming in from Denmark to reduce the number of migrants arriving in the country. In response to this, Denmark has tightened security with its border with Germany. Travellers wanting to cross the bridge which connects Malmö and Lund to Copenhagen, I'm not going to try and pronounce the name of the bridge, and by train or bus or ferry services across the strait will be refused entry without the necessary ID documents. Rail users heading to Sweden will now have to change trains at Copenhagen Airport and go through ID checkpoints, according to the BBC. Rail operators have reduced the number of trips to Sweden because of this and have warned that there might be significant delays. Transport companies face fines if travellers to Sweden do not hold valid photo ID. Now, Sweden secured a temporary exemption from the European Union's open border Schengen agreement in order to impose these border controls. If you're heading to America, you're probably going to do some eating, and a website has looked at the possible restaurant trends for America in 2016. So to help diners get excited about the 2016 trends predicted across the restaurant industry in the USA, Restaurant.com, which is the nation's largest dining deal site apparently, is serving up 7 trends for you to follow if you're dining around America. The dining deal pioneer, so they say, explored 2016 menu ideas and observations from chefs, restaurants and industry insiders across the US, and then asked its own team of dining experts to pinpoint the top 7 trends that everyday diners will be happy to devour. Restaurant.com focused on availability for diners across the country to determine trends that are accessible to casual and fine dining restaurants alike. So, number 1, fast, casual and delicious. In 2016, diners can look for casual restaurants with mouth-watering food that is quick to serve and not too expensive. On the wheels of food truck phenomenon and made-to-order restaurants like Chipotle, time-starved diners are demanding higher quality for abbreviated lunches and quick dinners. And apparently the industry is listening. Fantastic fried chicken. There's nothing like an all-American favourite prepared to perfection. In fact, there is a full-blown obsession with fried chicken across the US, and restaurants are adding their own twist with signature wings, sandwiches, and, of course, main dishes with all the fixings. Spirikaka, I've probably got that completely wrong, but there's an S in the front and there's an A at the end, is a spicy sauce with the white rooster on the bottle, apparently. Actually, I have this myself, so I should know, but I just pick it up from the shelves. It's achieved nationwide popularity in the US and is inspiring restaurants to add bolder, more assertive flavours to their menus. Diners can expect an influx of Middle Eastern spices, Indian hot peppers and exotic African flavours. And with those last bits, there's also the ethnic mashups. Many diners are looking for something new but familiar. In 2016, they'll be happy to find that fusion cuisine will be a big trend. For example, restaurants might offer Mexican tacos filled with Korean kimchi, hamburgers served on a crunchy ramen noodle bun, or Italian pizzas that use curry sauce instead of tomato. Might try that one myself. There's hyper-local sourcing. Restaurant.com also sees chefs planting even deeper local roots to build on the farm-to-fork trend of 2015. Restaurant gardens and farm fresh meats and ingredients from the local farmers' markets will become more prevalent, even replacing organically grown ingredients. They also predict that more nose-to-tail and root-to-stalk cooking, utilising much of the ingredients in as many dishes as possible. Number 6. Small plates, tapas, tasting menus, dim sum, finger foods. In fact, less is more. No matter what restaurants call it, this taste-friendly trend will let diners explore menus, share if they want to, not me, never share, and try new things without committing to the main course. Small plates offer up a nice variety of flavours without the large portion temptation. On the other hand, smaller portions can take the place of appetisers in multi-course meals. And finally, number 7, simplifying technology. Tech giants, including Amazon Prime, Google, Uber Eats, are offering quick delivery from just about any type of restaurant, even places that don't typically offer delivery. So this is handy for you if you're on a route where you will be room only in America. You don't want to go out and get your food. One of these apps, you can get it delivered to your door. For those dining out, a growing number of restaurants are offering kiosks or tablets at the table to take orders, as well as apps to pre-order and keep track of loyalty points. And for more details about the predictions from restaurant.com website, visit the company's blog, The Dish, which is at thedish.restaurant.com. And while we're talking about getting food delivered to your room when you're in America, and do be careful because there is a scam going around where you get flyers put through your room, under your room door, and it's for false restaurants, fake restaurants, and you ring up, you do an order, and they just wipe your credit card out. So don't use flyers that are shoved under your door. It's far too risky. But with an app, the company should be safe and there shouldn't be any problems. And after all that talking, I'm very hungry, so I'm just going to take a quick break.
Hello, it's Roy. Yeah, we're on the ferry. We should be in Spain tomorrow afternoon.
Well, be careful. Lots of crooks on the roads out here.
Crooks? You know where I grew up.
This is different. They target British registered vehicles.
Yeah, they used to do that round my way.
I'm serious. They'll tell you there's something wrong with your car, so you pull over, then they rob you. Or they distract you at a motorway stop. They target hire cars, too.
Hire cars?
Yeah, well, they're driven by tourists.
Oh, OK, I'll watch out.
Good. So, looking forward to the drive down?
Yeah, well, I was.
Thieves in Spain have been targeting hire cars and UK-registered vehicles, so be extra careful on the roads. For details, visit gov.uk and search for Living in Spain.
You're listening to The Travel Show with John Guinn on ukhealthradio.com. Well, it's winter sports season and there's the annual warning for people to check their insurance. Skiers should be advised to have adequate insurance before heading to the slopes. This is according to specialists from BL Claim Solicitors, who say that some winter sports travel insurance policies do not cover activities such as off-piste skiing, toboggan rides, zip wires, and the use of snow parks. Eleanor Armstrong, an associate of the travel team at BL Claim Solicitors, says that travellers should avoid going for cheaper policies, which may not offer enough cover. She said that the cost of helicopter mountain rescue, repatriation, medical care can run into tens of thousands of pounds, all costs that are avoidable to the traveller with a few simple checks. She went on to say that people who are travelling for winter sports should ensure that their policy includes and covers all the activities that they're likely to want to take part in. It's not just for skiing, it's for for other holidays as well. And you should always check policy limits for cancellation, curtailment and damage to equipment. And she's come up with 5 tips for skiers. And tip 1 is check to see whether wearing a helmet is a stipulation. And she says, don't rely on the European Health Insurance Card, EHIC, which used to be called the E111. Check local ski rules as instructors can withdraw, Check local ski rules as insurers can withdraw cover if you breach these. Watch your alcohol intake, and if involved in an accident on piste, exchange details with the other party. Not just for skiing, those tips are for any holiday, really. And you shouldn't. I've mentioned it over and over again. You don't go for the cheapest policy. You go for the best value policy, which covers you for what you want to do. So always read the small print before you hand over your cash. Kids are back at school now, yay! And it means the holiday prices are coming down. But soon it'll be the summer, and we'll be having the holidays are more expensive at summer stuff. But council is hoping to come up with plans to help make holidays cheaper for people in their catchment area. Brighton and Hove City Council is considering to change school term times. These plans will be discussed by the council next week and may mean that an extra week could be offered in the autumn by reducing the 6-week school summer holiday break. A new week's holiday would have to sit around exam timetables, leaving only a select number of dates available. Apparently it's such a long time since I've done exams at school. Plans will be discussed when the council meets, as I mentioned, and any changes are not expected to be implemented until September 2017. Such a move would make the council the first in England to act to change school term times to offer an alternative to the summer peak. The numbers of families fined in Brighton for unauthorised absence rose from 127 in 2012-13 to 434 a year later, and last school year was 983. The rise is thought in part because schools are becoming stricter on how they impose government rules on taking holidays in term time. What do you think about schools around the country staggering their term times so the parents can have cheaper holidays? Do you think it's a good idea, or are you childless and you don't want kids going where you're going and you're quite happy? Please share your views, facebook.com/John Guinn Travel Show. On many shows I've mentioned that Visit Scotland are very good with the press releases, and here's another one from them. Whiskey and Water, Scotch on the Rocks. Now there is a perfect match for the nation's favourite tipple as Scotland gears up to celebrate its Year of Innovation, Architecture and Design in 2016. The Spirit of Speyside Whisky Festival, which takes place in Scotland's most prolific whisky producing region, will show how the multi-million-pound global industry has been built on the exact principles that will be nationally recognised over the next 12 months. The Year of Innovation, Architecture and Design is a Scottish Government initiative, and it's led by the National